Hey guys, today we're going to do something a little different. And I spoke with you about doing a forensic chart on camera. You guys know that I am an astrologer. I study at NCGR here in New York City. And my area of high interest is relationships of all kind, but specifically forensics, death, crime. I am a double Scorpio. So anyway, I promised to do Marilyn Monroe's death on camera, so we're going to do that today. And I will say this, for those of you who are new to my channel, I am a Sun and Moon Scorpio, Sun and Moon stellium actually, with heavy aspects to and from Pluto and Mars to my Sun, Moon, Uranus, North Node, MC. And so I'm always in my Scorpio, right? And so I love to dissect not just a crime. I'm not one of those people who watches crime shows. I'm not into that. I'm not into like, who did it? You know, Scorpios, it goes a little deeper. I always want to study the psychology of an individual who has transformed into a person who is possible of carrying out 20 or 30 murders. There's something about that. And I don't see death in the way that many others do. And I like to go beneath the surface. I want to know who they were when they were young. And we're not going to do that in this chart. But normally what I do, and I didn't print out her birth chart, is before I figure out any type of situation here, I figure out who that person was, and I automatically go to their childhood, because that's going to tell a bulk of how they got their personality and what glitches were there that occurred that stunted them or put them on a separate course or you know, really change their way of being. And so I normally do that. We're not going to do that today. So I want to say this before I start this chart. I'm not a Marilyn Monroe fan, okay? I have not completed any of her films. And I'm not one of those people who, you know, sees her as a big icon and this, that, and the other. Like, I'm just not. I'm as far away from her presence as possible, which is a benefit to me because the way that I look at things, it's not personal, okay? It's not personal. Now, maybe many of you have been studying her death and trying to figure things out. I don't know. That's not me. So what I'm going to do, and I know she transitioned on the 4th, but as you can see here, sorry, my camera angle is a little off, but I just decided to do this actually. We're going with August 5th. We're going with the date that she was found, okay? You can tell a lot by a chart, by the actual event times. And if you want to, if you guys are astrologers, and I know many of you are, you can go into the chart and you can actually go backwards, which is what I like to do, and see how the planets moved you know, leading up to the events. And then you can see kind of the movement and who was involved and things like that. So we're just going to go through what I can. This isn't going to be an extremely long video, but I just want to show you how I kind of plan these things. And so let's start, okay? So here is when she was found, okay? She was found on August 5th, 1962, a Sunday, 3:30 in the morning. It was said that she made a transition on the 4th, somewhere around, I don't know, between 8 and 11 p.m. But this is when they found her, okay? So let's start with this. Let's start with what was rising. I'm going to take it at a different angle. Let's start with what was rising on the MC. We got what's rising on the MC. And on the ascendant, we have Cancer, okay? So we have Cancer here. We have Pisces here, We have Pisces here, which is interesting. And that will tell us right off the back, we're going to start. I'm going to write some notes here. This is what I usually do. I'm going to write the notes. I'm going to say it's got Pisces on the MC. And Pisces rules the 12th house. We're going to make connections. You always want to look at the relationships. How do these relate to each other? And Jupiter, which is Pisces' traditional ruler, we have right there. Okay, very close by. This is the most elevated planet. The one that's closest to the MC. So Jupiter is the most elevated, right? We have Pisces, okay, rules the 12th house. And we see what's in the 12th house. We're going to kind of go back to that one. So let's start with Pisces, okay? The ruler is Neptune. And where the hell is Neptune? Okay. Pisces is 22 degrees MC. We got the ruler, Neptune, in Scorpio in the 5th house. Okay. So we got the ruler, which is Neptune, and we got Pisces here. That's going to tell me that there were some drugs involved. There was some drugs involved. There was deception. Neptune rules deception. Okay. Neptune rules the 12th house. 12th house of secrets. 12th house of our subconscious. 12th house of deceptions, lies, secret enemies. Okay. Secret enemies. Jails, mental institutions, all of these things, right? So we have that on the MC. So there's definitely something with drugs involved and something. Now, I don't know how she died. I don't know the story, guys. I'm not I don't know it. So in the comments, you're going to tell me if you've studied this, if you know what it is. Normally I go back later and I look at the story and then I look at my chart and see what I missed or see what was there. Or see what they missed. So I don't know this outright. Okay, guys? I don't know what happened. There was drugs involved. There was deception. There were secrets. And we see that Scorpio, Neptune is Scorpio. Obviously, Scorpio rules death. Okay? Scorpio's ruled death. So her death was related to drugs and deception. And I'm going to put secret enemies. Because there was some secret... Gosh, my eraser. I'm going to put a secret enemy. There was somebody close that was secret enemy involved. All right, guys? So we start making these connections, right? We got Neptune here. And Neptune is making a trine to Jupiter. Jupiter is the original ruler of Pisces. So are you guys seeing the connection? Now, Jupiter is what? Jupiter in Pisces, right, means indulgence. Jupiter expands. Jupiter does too much. Jupiter is the sign that overindulges. So this is definitely telling us that there's some drug overdose. Okay, that has to do with the death. That has to do with it. So we got Jupiter here. We got Jupiter in Pisces making a trine to Neptune in Scorpio. Yes? Got it? And so, here we go. So now we've made that connection. Okay? Let's see what else we can find here. Let's see what else we can find. So we got Jupiter at 10 degrees Pisces. We know that there's a connection here with some sort of drug, some sort of overdose. It might have been alcohol. It could have been pills. One or the other. Okay? But also Pisces rules delusion and deception. So clearly this tells you that she was out of it. Okay? Right here. She was out of it. Actually, the death, she was out of it when it was something that was sedative. Okay, some type of sedative. Okay, it wasn't the type of drug, it wasn't like a violent reaction, because we would see that it wouldn't be Neptune. If it was something like a stabbing or shooting, it wouldn't be Neptune. We would see more of a Mars, Uranian energy to that. So we know that it was a sedative. It was something that put you out. It was something that made you delusional. It was something that kind of like whisked you off to sleep. That sort of thing, guys. Okay? So we know that. We've made that first connection. So now let's see where else Neptune takes us. Okay? Because we started here, right? We got the ruler here, we made a connection, we came on down. So let's see what's going on with Neptune at 10 degrees Scorpio. It looks like Neptune is making a connection with Pluto. Yeah, right here. It's a sextile. We've got 8 degrees Pluto and Virgo in the 3rd house. And we've got Neptune in Scorpio at 10 degrees. Okay, so there is a connection here. And what is Pluto? Pluto means death. We got death everywhere, honey. We got Neptune here, and we got this. So this is like, you know, when you have a sextile, it's not like a harsh energy. It's a soft aspect, and it's kind of supportive, right? It's kind of, you know, it's support. It's a supporting, soft aspect. It should be helpful. So whatever this sedative is, had to do with the death here. And we notice that the Pluto is in Virgo. So let's write that down here. We got a Neptune here making a sextile to Pluto. Okay, so this is the sedative that assisted in the death, right? That assisted in the death. So look at Pluto. Pluto's in Virgo, though, right? And Virgo rules health. Virgo is ruled by the 6th house. The sixth house, excuse me, is health issues. The 6th house is health issues. So whatever this sedative is was something that was prescribed, yeah? So we got Pluto in Virgo. We got health issues here. So whatever that was a prescription, okay? I don't see where it was some sort of just random poison. I don't see where it was something, like, I'm not seeing that. This, you know, this being in Virgo, right, means that there was some sort of health issue. And look at this. Let's stay here. Virgo's 8 degrees, right? I'm at Pluto's 8 degrees here. Pluto has an opposition to what? Jupiter. That means there was an overdose. It was too much. You see that? So let's stay here. Pluto in Virgo has an opposition to Jupiter. It was too much. They gave her too much. Because what is Jupiter? Jupiter is excessive. I want to talk about this briefly, that Chiron. I don't use Chiron a lot in my chart readings. I just kind of brought her in, but we could see Chiron, you know, who is more of like healing and wounds. We see it's in Pisces. We see that she was very self-sacrificing, and we have an opposite Pluto. You know, there was something with her feeling out of control and maybe needing to heal some inner demons here, okay? Some inner demons here. And this was just an issue that she had, okay? And this is why we have this, which is excessive, you know? This is, all of these things was her way of trying to self-medicate, okay? To kind of forget. We have that Neptunian, is that dreamy energy. It's escapism, guys. That's what it is. It's all escapism. And so this is just one of the battles that she had. It's one of the battles she couldn't control. She had no control, okay? Now we're going to take it into a different direction. I don't always read my charts this way. In fact, I rarely start with the MC. I just felt like compelled to do that today. I rarely start there. So we're going to start at the ascendant. We're going to go to the ascendant. We're going to leave that. So we already have a story, okay? What you want to do is always create the story and get the connection. And that's why I usually go into the childhood, but I don't have her. I didn't print out her chart of just her birth. This is the scene, the crime when they found her. So here's the story. So we've already got, and I'm going to say possible because I don't know. Many of you guys have studied this case. I have not. I don't know what's going on. I'm just reading it to you through here. So now we got a bit of a story. You know, somebody found her. We got this whole sedative situation going on. We know it was an overdose. We got that. I clearly explained that to you. So let's start here because this is the victim. The ascendant is always the victim. This is Marilyn. And this is the perpetrator, the person who was involved. And I'm just going to write killer because that's what I always do. So we have Marilyn here, Cancer. Cancer is rules the fourth house. And we see the ruler in the fourth house. Okay, we see it in Libra, right? We see what? A people pleaser, somebody who wanted to be liked, somebody who needed to be loved, somebody who wanted a home. This is home and family. The moon's there. This is very important to her. Okay, it's very important. And we see that with the trine to the south node. South node is your roots. Okay, and so this is her. This is somebody who was very giving and wanted to be liked and wanted a home and family here, right? And, you know, what else is Cancer? You know, this is somebody who's really emotional, somebody, you know, really sensitive soul. And now let's make some other connections with the individual. Because how does she even know this individual? This is what I like to do. Like, who is it? Is it a random person who just, you know, gave her some sedatives? Like, who are these people and how do they connect? So we have the killer. We have Capricorn here. Capricorn is what? Authority. This is somebody in charge. Authority. This is somebody who has some authority in her life, obviously. This is somebody who's in a higher position. This is somebody who can call the shots. Okay? And let's look for the rulership. What rules Capricorn? Saturn. Saturn is right here in its original rulership because we want to say Saturn is in Aquarius. Aquarius originally is ruled by Saturn and Uranus, so it's in its dignity. Which gives it far more power, okay? Gives it a lot of power. And so we got Saturn in the 8th house of death, right here. Here's the killer. This is somebody in charge. Obviously, they had access to her. So there had to be somebody who had the authority to be there. To be there, to even get close enough. Right? So we got the ruler in Uranus, okay? Now let's make some connections. Sorry, not Uranus. We have the ruler, Saturn in Aquarius, okay? Saturn in Aquarius. So now we're going to make some connections here. Who is this person? We know they're in charge. We know they have access. We know it's somebody. Also, you know, this doesn't, I just wrote killer because I just identify them that way. This doesn't have to be the killer, but this could be the main person who was in charge of this situation, who had their hands in it. Okay, so we know they were in charge, and Capricorn rules the 10th house. Okay, the 10th house is what? Somebody with notoriety, somebody public, somebody who. You know, the 10th house is legacy. The 10th house is what you're known for. The 10th house is a big public figure, okay? So this person was not only in authority and in charge, This is somebody important. This is somebody really important, okay, who had this kind of access. And then we look at Saturn, right, at 7 degrees. And we have in opposition to the Sun in Leo. It's in its dignity. This is somebody, this is Saturn, which is control, authority, okay? And it's in the 8th house. And it's opposition to the Sun in the 2nd house. This is somebody with money. This is somebody powerful with money. Okay, this is somebody powerful with money, but not only that, this is somebody who is a domineering individual who needs to be in control. This is somebody trying to control a situation. And it may have to do with, you see the Sun here. Let's go even further. The Sun is conjunct Mercury. This is somebody who is in charge, who is powerful, but not just that, somebody with a strong voice. This is somebody who's heard, okay? This is somebody who's heard, who has a lot of money, or is in charge of money, or has something to do with a lot of resources, okay? This person is not only in charge, this is the Sun, guys. This is the Sun in Leo with that opposition to Saturn. This is somebody really in charge, somebody who has money or comes from money, and somebody people listen to with that Mercury, with that Sun conjunct Mercury. So let's take that even further. Let's take this even further. So we got the Sun at 12 degrees Leo making a square to that Neptune. Now this person is prominent. This individual is prominent. And then we got a square to that Neptune. Whatever relationship they had here was not what it seems. There was a lot of delusion in here, okay? There was a lot of delusion going on. This was delusion. This was, and it's in Scorpio, this was secret. This was a secret situation here. This was a secret situation. And he was the power force in it. And I'm saying he because the Sun is masculine in Leo. He's the powerful source in this relationship. Okay, guys? He's the powerful one. Now, let's stay with the Sun for a second. Because I see a connection here. We got Mars in Gemini. There were some threats made. This is, when we see here to Mars, this is somebody who, and a sextile, like I said, it's a soft aspect. But of course I'm looking at it this in a different way. This is somebody in a deceptive relationship. Okay? That obviously, this is a square, so it's a problem. It's a problem. And if you look at this, it's in the 12th house. We got Mars in the 12th house. The 12th house is what? Gemini. Secret talking. There's a bunch of talking going on. There probably was a lot of gossip behind the scenes. Okay? A lot of back and forth. There might have been threats here. Here's the connection to the Sun. There's some secret information here, guys. And Mars in Gemini. When somebody has a Mars in Gemini, Mars is kind of like what gets you going. It's your action, your energy, how you defend yourself. How do they defend themselves with the damn Gemini? With a bunch of words. These people who have Mars and Gemini, these are the ones who attack you with words. These are the ones with threats. These are the ones who talk shit. Okay? There was something going on here. Okay? And it's the 12th house, so it's behind the scenes. All this running in the mouth was going behind the scenes, guys. It was going on behind the scenes. So clearly they were talking about this. They were talking about, look, whatever you're doing here is on some bullshit. We got secrets, we got lies, we got deception here. So there was already a situation going on there, guys. Okay. So the next thing I do is I keep making the connectors. Okay. I keep making those connectors. So we have Mars 18 degrees Gemini is doing what? Making a square to Jupiter. That means this whatever it is got out of control. And Mars is violence. Mars is violence, Mars is stabbing, Mars is shooting, guns, all that is ruled by Mars. Okay? And we see that maybe here, and this is a speculation obviously, that all this talk got out of control at some point. So, you're seeing a story going on here. What is the relationship between these two? Her and this individual. This person's got a lot of power. They're in charge. They got money. The relationship is deceptive. There's some sneaky shit because we got Neptune. Okay? Going on. Neptune's in Scorpio. Scorpio likes to keep shit private. Do we not? And then people started talking. People started talking about that. And that ain't cool. And it got out of control. So what happened with that? Let's keep making connections. Let's keep going here. So we got that over to Jupiter, which is in the 9th house, which is the ruler. Okay, so this is pretty strong. This is pretty strong here. So now let's move around a bit. Let's move around a bit. So how do we know let's see where she was found. Now sometimes you can look at this in two different scenarios. So in forensic astrology, the moon is really important. It's kind of like the co-ruler of the whole chart. Some people do it this way, some people don't, but I do. So the moon is very important, and also it's the ruler of the victim. So we can see that it's in the 4th house. It's in the 4th house of Libra, so it's in a very comfortable place. And we can see that this is home, or a place she calls home. This is where the moon is. Now, sometimes I look in a chart and we can also find where the body was found by looking in the 9th house. And sometimes it's in a public place, or it's, sometimes it is in a public place. But look at this. We got Saturn, which is also death, and is making a trine to Saturn Aquarius is making a trine to the moon. You see this 7 degrees, 7 degrees. We got a perfect trine here. So Saturn, which also is death, we have it right here at home. Right here at home. Guys. That's where she was found. Sometimes you can find it here if the body's thrown outside. Depending on what is in that area, you'll find where it's around. If it's a water sign, it could be near lakes and things like that. But here we don't have that. It's Virgo. And Virgo is what? Practical. It's definitely inside somewhere. Practical. And then we have Libra, which is what? Beauty and, somewhere comfortable. So this is where she was found. Okay, guys? I'm going to leave it there, and I want you to get into the comments. If you guys want me to go over, I don't know. I don't know if you like these videos. I love doing my podcast videos, but I did promise to show you kind of how I go through a forensic chart. This is so different than the ones that I go through. A lot of the ones I do are mass shootings. So then I can pull out who was involved and, you know, who these people were. Did they know each other, or what was the fight over? We could tell that this one was about this secrecy going on that got out, and now there was hidden talk about it. It was too much. There was something about that. This is one of the reasons. I don't know what all the reasons are, but this is definitely one of them. And we know how it was involved, right, guys? We know where the body was found. And I don't know who exactly found her, but I would say it's someone who had access. Someone who had access, for sure. And someone who had authority. This was someone... Let's do that before I get out of here, actually. Because we see Cancer and we see Capricorn on the ascendant. I mean, on the descendant, excuse me. And whoever was involved was close enough. Because we have the moon in the 4th house, and we have Venus in the 4th house, and we have Venus in Virgo. So Virgo rules the 6th house of help and service. This was a helper here, and this is somebody she trusted. Look at that. This is somebody she trusted that was there, that was helpful. And it could have been, you want to look at the 6th house, it could have been a nurse, it could have been someone a cleaner, it could have been somebody who was helpful, okay, guys? This person was involved, for sure. Okay, and I got to dig deeper to see what the actual involvement was. You can dive deeper into that. But this was a helper. This is somebody who's helpful. Because we got that right here in the home. We got her in the home. Right there. Venus and Virgo. Feminine energy. It's a woman. Without a doubt. So guys, I don't know if you want me to go over any other kind of charts like this. Maybe once in a while. You let me know in the comments. And I don't really know the details of this situation. You guys do. I'm not, I'm really not into the lives and deaths of like so-called considered icons. I do mass shootings that are happening right here in New York City, ones that are happening all over the U.S. That usually involve, young people killing multiple people or things like that. I do local things that are, or things that are, worldwide, like somebody blows up a school and it's like, why, So let me know in the comments what you guys want to see, what you think of the chart. And I hope I've helped you if you are interested in doing forensic. I mean, there's much more to this, but I have to sit and work with it. I usually go from different angles and pull things out. I definitely will have to go through her chart to see who was kind of close with her and her whole story, and that'll pull some pieces together as well. But you can start anywhere. You could start at the midhaven like I did today, which I rarely do. You start at the ascendant, and then you could start here, and then you gotta really go through those points. And you can also use midpoints. You can use a lot of different things, guys. Okay? I'm just showing you like a model way into it. So let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys soon.